All right, welcome back. So this video is called heated debate with Destiny and about divorce. Let's go. Let's listen to this. Let's see what we're talking about.
College-educated women initiate divorce 90% of the time.
Well, I don't know. What do the stats say? Isn't it that usually people aren't happy in their relationship?
Let's repeat.
College-educated women initiate divorce 90% of the time.
College education women initiate divorce 90% of the time. Data stats. Remember, keep in mind when we're analyzing these things, they are right from a theoretical standpoint. Okay.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, they're usually right from a theoretical standpoint. The disconnect comes in application. Okay, let's keep going. So she's talking about 90% of the time, college-educated women are the one who initiates the divorce. That's true in terms, I've seen that data, right? But Destiny is going to ask a question.
Well, I don't know. What do the stats say? Isn't it that usually people aren't happy in their relationships?
It depends what study you look at. I've looked at
No, it doesn't depend.
Sometimes it's financial.
This is the part where you ask Pearl for context and she doesn't know where to go next. This is listen. This is where you ask this is where you ask her for context and the cap will start coming out, right? But shout out to Destiny. Destiny is a lot more masculine than majority of the men that are in this people's space. Okay, yeah, I said it. Yep. Destiny is I think I heard is a bisexual man or something like that. I'm not sure. But again, what does that have to do with anything in this conversation, right? It's not relevant. It's only lame people that would think this is relevant, right? But let's keep going. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I've seen infidelity, I think, is a high one. I've seen people are just generally not happy with their relationship.
Irreconcilable differences.
That's Esther. Esther is a Nigerian who started building her own platform from being shamed on this platform. She got dragged woto on this platform because she's modern, not feminine, but feminist. That part, right? Let me see who came into my studio. Oh, of course, Natu Alpha now.
I did. I had to join.
Let me play this. Hang out with me. Let me play this thing a little bit.
No problem.
All right. Let's see here. All right.
As well. I was just curious, anecdotally.
I don't know very many divorcees with college degrees, so I can't really say. No.
Oh, okay.
Why, do you?
Mm-hmm.
What do they say?
I mean, I don't ask.
She said, They said, do you know anyone? He said, I don't know too many college degree people that are divorced. And then they're like, do you? She said, Just listen to the cap.
Differences.
Irreconcilable differences.
Financial, sometimes.
Financial infidelity.
I think is a high one. I've seen people are just generally not happy with their relationship.
Irreconcilable.
All right, these things are not causes of divorce. These are the symptoms after the fact. These are underlying things that happen before it shows up as infidelity, or it shows up as finances issues, or before it shows up as obviously irreconcilable differences. It's like it's a vague term, right?
Differences. That's one as well.
I was just curious, anecdotally.
You were just curious.
I don't know very many divorcees with college degrees, so I can't really say. No.
Oh, okay.
Why, do you? What do they say?
I mean, I don't ask them. They're like my mom's friends. I don't go. I don't ask them for the behind the scenes of their divorces.
Do you feel like, asking that question, you feel like something in college makes women want to?
No, I mean,
something in college
have a hard time. I mean, I think it kind of goes back to like women out earning men have a hard time respecting the men.
Oh no, she went for the finances.
Did you go to college?
Oh, this girl went to college. She's 6 feet woman who played some kind of sports or something like that. She went to college. I think she went to college. She's educated.
The part of her saying that she don't ask them, but she's still making reference to it. Like, just take for example, like me and you, like that's school in Nigeria. have you seen people writing while that will copy answer? They will ask you, what does this
Mm-hmm.
mean? And you just say that's what it's for.
They just get
That's
stuck.
just what
Yeah,
you say.
they just get stuck. Let me play a video for D. Thank you so much, D, for the £7 donation. I appreciate you. And I have to play this for you. All right. Wala wala.
Nigeria don't report to Atiko Sawakalu.
All right, let's talk about these percentages. This young girl said, is this something about college? Well, maybe because they suddenly have a sense of better options. Maybe they feel like I don't have to deal with crap. Maybe they feel a lot more empowered because they're college educated. So if they sense any form of crap, even when they're wrong, yes, they could be wrong. They will pull the plug. They have the options that people from 50 years maybe don't have 50 years ago. What do you think, Natu?
Sorry, say that again.
As this girl asked, she says, is there something in college that make them divorce? Is that what you're saying? This young lady right here.
Asking that question, you feel like something in college makes women women.
No, I mean, I feel like women just have a hard time.
Right? So is this something,
No.
she said, is this something in college that makes them?
I think the answer that she will give that will fit into this is because they are more exposed now.
Mm-hmm.
They are more aware of their environment and what their rights are.
Mm-hmm.
And you just feel like most times people tolerate things that they know that they don't have any like information or education about. So going to college, you're more exposed. You talk to people from other different,
Right.
from other different backgrounds. You hear stuff that on a normal day you have no information about. And it's just like you in the school and knowing that they give scholarship, but you don't know they give scholarship. And then your friends are collecting scholarship. And somebody says, oh, you go to this person, they'll give you like, oh, really? That's what I have to do? They're like, that's all you need to do. And you end up getting it. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, that's what it is. Women become more aware.
Yeah, exactly.
And they understand that most of these cultures they are man-made cultures. They are man-made ideas.
Yep.
Just like
It's awareness. It's the same exact reason why men from 20, 30 years ago used to stay on the job for 40 years. And these days, they have options. They don't have to, they can, it's the same exact thing, you know. But of course, let's see what Pearl has to say about that.
I mean, I think it kind of goes back to like women out earning men have a hard time respecting the men they're with.
She said because women are out earning men. First of all, that's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, but let's keep going.
That's not true.
That's not.
Oh, everybody say that's not true. Jesus Christ. Everybody saying that's not true. What are you talking about, Pearl?
I think it kind of goes back to like women out earning men have a hard time respecting the men they're with.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I actually read into that data.
It's like they're like don't be juju be that. Listen, now remember there's a stat, it's a data, something that she just said that's true on paper. It's in application when we start to like, what do we learn from this? What do we learn from this? This is where they fall apart. Let's keep going.
It's not true. I read into that data and it explained why. So a lot of the time the women reported that they had way too much responsibility in the marriage. So they were expected to be in charge of the household duties and still work a job. And they had to...
Oh, come on. What % of modern women actually cook?
It was,
Like,
wait. That is, but that's
20% of... 20
Now, if we ask her, say, Paul, do you cook? She will say they're shaming her or speaking sign language. The truth is that most people don't cook as much as they used to anymore because they're also working, right? But the also truth is that
Agreed.
Many women still cook. They're still expected to cook. Not only that, they expect themselves to cook because it's a thing of pride for a typical woman. They're like, cook for my husband, I cook for my family. Right? I try my best to cook for my family. But I don't know if she's expecting them to cook every meal of the day, every day of the week. I'm not sure. What do you think, Natu?
I think that's what she is assuming. But women, it doesn't happen like that anymore because, like you said earlier, like everybody works now. So my husband that understands how kind of like leniency for the wife because she's back and might be tired or not want to cook, and you respect the fact that she cannot because there are other things that she contributes in the house too.
Yeah.
Which back in the days, like most of our mothers don't work.
Yeah.
And yeah, but this lady is just picking out numbers and words. I don't know. Maybe she used ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Wala. You know. You're trying to get me to play that. Jesus Christ.
Because I don't know where she's getting her voice from, honestly.
Yeah, she's slow. The stat is true. The issue is why, right? Men are stuck on traditional values that just don't work. They're unrealistic. They don't work anymore.
They're stuck on traditional values and they still want the modern value like attached. So they want the modern day wife doing the traditional wife thingy.
Yes, they want you to be hanging off of this ceiling fan for sex. But in that same
and then when you finish,
they want
go
a virgin.
Take care of the kids and go cook.
Right. So it's unrealistic expectations everywhere. Listen, let me keep going here.
20% of the men, when both parents are working, only 20% actually reported to doing household duties. That's scary when you're both working.
I mean, I'm just saying the shit's automated nowadays. I mean, you have a washing machine, a dishwasher.
Yeah, but so you have to put it in the washer fryer.
Yeah, so I do have washer in my house too, and to get off my butt to go and put my clothes in it's one of the hardest things ever to do. I grew up washing my clothes with my hands. You too, right? Not too, right?
Yep. Till today, I still do that sometimes.
Oh, you still? Unless you want to punish me, no, I don't do that too. But anyway, to come downstairs and put my clothes in to even just transfer into the dryer.
Yeah.
Sometimes to sit there for 30 minutes or more. It's work, right? So
no,
again,
in our house, you can even sleep till the next day. They're like, oh, I forgot something in the washroom.
Yes, now. But this girl is still repeating this, like, oh, everything is automated these days, and completely disconnected from the reality of how these things transpire. Shout out to Adana. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. She says, sis looks like she needs to be in the Bahamas under the sun. Education gives you exposure and awareness. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Being says, I agree. I don't cook anymore as I used to due to just being busy with work, but I am a fantastic cook. I live by myself, so I can get away with not cooking. Yes. But let me tell you something. The reality is that when you become a wife, you will cook in batches. What do I mean by that? Right? Right? You will cook for the freezer.
That's right.
That's if you love to cook, right?
No,
even
but what if you get the man that says, I don't eat frozen food, I like fresh food?
And see, again, no be juju with that, right?
Yeah, but you have to cook in batch. That's one thing.
See, a man that will say that is obviously disconnected from not just what we're talking about, but even the reality of the world they lives in. And that type of man will behave. That behavior will show up in so many other ways. It's just gonna be bad.
Yep.
It's gonna be bad until if he ever gets better, until it gets better, because he clearly is stuck in a world of fantasy. And when a man is stuck in the world of fantasy, effectively not a man. And that's not a good thing, because part of our job as men is to say, hey, what are the constraints? What are the realities? What are the impediments? What are the risks? That means things that I don't even see yet that can potentially be a point of impediment for a life that's smooth for my family, not just me, right? So, and you understand that this is a moving target.
The problem that some men have is that act of being selfless. You understand what I'm saying? Like selflessness.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like that one is like a skill on its own, and it's not a lot of people that have it.
It's a skill.
So like, yeah. So at some point, like that selfish instinct creeps in, and you hear, "What do I stand to gain from it?" Then I don't think this is for me. So
yeah. Hey, D'Souza,
if you're
we miss you.
person, marriage is gonna be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real. It's a skill. You said it right. It's a skill. It's this is what we mean when we say game. Skills. For those that say there's no such thing as game, we meant skills, particularly with respect to emotions and social intelligence. Okay, you need more of that social intelligence issue will be called upon if you're a single person a lot, right? A lot, you know. So but for the rest of your life, honestly, to be frank, Bimbe says to put the clothes in the washer, dryer, and fold it is a lot of work, but she's trying to measure it against a different context. You know, these days. Well, you're talking about these days. Can we talk about things in these days?
No, but she's saying, but all of those things, you know, people think it's that easy as they say because you have stuff that are automated, but that's energy you put into it, right? So over the weekend, I had my friend's daughter with me, and I had her for 4 days, and I said, I'm going to vlog my mommy moments for the 4 days. Then what happened? I only had 2 pictures for the whole weekend because I'm going from doing this to doing that to doing that. So it was something that you don't have to do yourself. Even if you have to blend something, you have to walk, go wash the stuff, put in the blender, blend it. It's all time. It's all energy. So I understand it makes work easy, but still.
Yeah. So again, what are we spelling out here? The disconnect between theoretical and theory and reality. You know, this has nothing to do with the woman's incompetence. It has a lot to do with the incompetence of the world as a whole, particularly with respect to as we move into the new times, modern times, right? You can't be comparing what a woman does, a wife does in 2023 to what she did in 1973. It's just
like, you know, honestly, aside that, right, when we're using that statement, like when we say white material, material come in different kind of textures, and I don't know what other word to use, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
And right, so materials mean different things to different people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you might wear it for this purpose, you might wear it for that purpose. So what a wife might mean to you might not be the same to the other person.
Yeah.
I know somebody that, like, the guy has money, like everything. What he wanted was, he said, I just want a companion. When my head is hot, I want somebody to be calming me down. That's the only thing that he wants. Like, I don't want a woman that will bring anything.
Yeah, they want peace of mind.
Exactly. That was the only thing that he was going for, and he got it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But for that, he might be like, I want a woman that will contribute to the bills. She will take care of this. She will have to do this. No, that one say, I will pay for help. I will pay for cleaner. I will pay for so you understand. So what is white material? That's the question. It's not the same.
So
what do you call a white material?
This will be the argument. I can tell you right now, you know, that this will be the argument. A wife material. Let's start with the Antipora's talking point. A wife material, number one, stays in his marriage. It's a commitment. It's a duty and commitment for him for a lifetime. She's not just gonna leave just because she's college educated. She's not just gonna leave just because she's making more money. Am I making sense? Based off of what Antipora just said. She cooks. Okay, that's what a wife material is to her. And let's listen to the rest. Let's see.
Daily Harvest now has a lot of different.
Let's get that skipped.
Men still don't do.
Yeah, but you have to take,
but as much as it's automated, men still don't do it.
Yeah, still don't do.
That's the point. That even as simple as automated as all these things are, men still don't do it, right? But that's not what Antipora was trying to say. Antipora was trying to spell out that divorce is caused by people that are not wife material. What is wife material to Antipora? Let's go.
You
They still don't do it. That's the issue. Is that one of the big problems with households
for divorce?
It absolutely is a reason. When you
she can't comprehend the idea that chores can become a reason for divorce.
You get older and you manage a household on your own, Pearl, you'll see how fucking annoying it is when you're working and then you come.
Annoying is a key word. It's mental. It has nothing to do with how hard the work is. Just the idea that somebody left their shoes, you could have easily put the shoes right next to the thing where it's supposed to go. They left it right next to it, but they didn't put it properly. That's annoying. Oh, you don't see how that can end people up in divorce courts. Again, 26-year-old girl talking, right? Let's keep going.
Yeah, if you're married with somebody that has OCD.
OCD,
Yeah.
OCD. They have to diagnose people with OCD, right? Right?
Yeah,
This is a condition, right? It's a condition. It's what I mean.
Yeah,
right?
but you know, when some people that are not like clinically diagnosed, like when you go to their house, you see the way they arrange things, the way things are in a certain way, and you cannot move them. You cannot touch this. One of my friends, you can't walk on that carpet with a shoe.
Right.
The shoe has to be in a certain place when you come in.
Right.
So when you marry somebody like that, you have to know the person. You see, this whole English and this thing that people is doing, people have just like mixed up, or I don't know if I would say messed up or mixed up the definition of what marriage is. People have different opinions of marriage.
They have different
definition of what marriage is, and so that's why all ideas are conflicting. Because
this is why it's confusing.
Conflicting, like the whole ideas are conflicting. What she's saying is conflicting from what other people are saying. So if you sit down to ask what marriage means to all of them, you see that all of them have different perspectives, and her own is a different.
No, but in this conversation, let's be honest. There is a clear division here. One person is one side, the other people are on the other side.
Yeah, but what makes her going to the one side? If we have if we know what, if people have one definition of what marriage is, if we have one idea of what marriage is, that's why I say people go into marriage for different reasons. That's
the point we're getting to, right?
Some people go into marriage for poverty alleviation. Some people go to marriage for happiness. Some people go to marriage for peace. So it's all for
that's what the other side that's what the other side is trying to explain to her, right? Remember, we're talking about Pearl today, right? That's what the other side is trying to explain to her, right? Because based off of these conversations, 1 million subscribers worth, right? Clearly it means something different to everybody. That's obvious. Off of today, at least. Maybe in 1973 it wasn't, but today clearly it means something different to everybody, right? And if we're going to bring some kind of structure to it so people can learn how to do it, to create success in it, we still need to acknowledge first that these days, this thing is meaning different things to different people. Right? Yep. So, that's the point. And my other point is that OCD is such a big deal. It has a name. But this girl does not see that. She's like, what? Maybe I end up in because of chores. She doesn't get it.
You know, back in the days, some of our parents, one of the reasons they get married is to have kids, to have family.
Right.
And to be surprising to you that now that we have people that I don't care if I have kids or not, or I don't want to have. The first time I had that statement, I was like 27 when I moved to America. I thought the person was weird. I went to ask my roommate. I said, "Is she okay?"
Wait till not today. Big Boy has answer for you.
That man has to know how to cook if he wants to be a temperature meal every day.
He asked question now.
But no, that's what I was trying to explain earlier. If you grew up in a house where his mom is always doing that, that's the idea of what a wife is to him, right? And then now he gets married and he wants the same thing, but the woman he married is not his mom. This woman is a working class woman. And then he's expecting the same thing. He's not ready to evolve and understand that, okay, this is a new game entirely. How are we going to navigate to make this thing work? But it's just going to be like, this is what I saw happen in my father's house, and this is what I want to.
Right.
It's not going to work like that.
Yeah. Anyway, let me play a little bit. We can't end this today. We have to end it 12 minutes since it's the middle of the day. But I'm enjoying this conversation so far.
It's fucked up and horrible, and nobody's fucking cleaning anything. That is a totally valid reason for divorce, of course.
Chores, to break up a home.
Lived in a filthy home.
You've never lived with a difficult person.
If it is consistent, where you're consistently having to have that burden upon yourself, you keep telling him, please, can you clean up?
It's so funny because lifelong friends from grade school to high school will dorm in college and then hate each other forever over bad dorm roommates. And that's
yes, I still have trauma from roommates that don't know how to clean my goddamn pot after they use my pot. I clean my pot before and after.
I have a problem with that. But you see, that's where learning comes when you get married. You have to know who you're getting married to. You have to know what their triggers are, and you have to avoid it. Another person is the same. So let me tell you, my husband is very organized. He doesn't want to go over the place. So when we got this new house that we're moving to, it has like 4 or 5 closets. My husband just took one closet and gave me all the rest. I said, I don't want to see anything outside. Just
take all this.
Yeah, do everything you want to do inside your closet. So
wait. You just said something, right? You just said something that I'm going to push against, right? Before you said this example you just gave, which is fantastic. You said people should know what they're getting into before, right? How would your husband know that you were going to be that person?
No, but that's what I'm saying. When he got into it and he noticed this is what it is, instead of like getting upset on me back to back, he got a way to like handle it and take care of it, so he doesn't have to see it and doesn't have to upset it.
So would you say he settled for you in that respect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So because some people call that settling, right? I don't think that's settling. I think he sees other value in you that trumps that.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
Unfortunately, I completely get what you were saying, and I agree with it, right? But we're in a space that these people are so lame. We have to spell everything out in words for them whenever we have a chance to, right? Settling is not necessarily a bad thing, obviously, in that context, right? But settling, why? Because there are other value that, you know what, I can't let this chick go just because of some stupid...
Yeah, just because of that. I agree.
This is the reality that someone like Pearl is disconnected from, right? That sometimes we call it, even the word compromise, I don't like I'm like that, because if the other value that I'm getting is much more bigger, I still don't consider it compromise. I'm like, what? This is just life. You don't get everything you want in life. You're supposed to like look at the bigger picture and say, this person is a blessing to me.
But you know, another thing that we have to understand that we can't take away too, there are some things that are a big deal to people that you have to know and understand. And that's why when Auntie Pearl is saying,
deal breakers.
Ruin a whole family because of that thing that might just be
it may be a deal breaker.
So no.
Yeah, it may be a deal breaker, or like Esther said, maybe it's consistent way too much. Maybe it's annoying. Maybe this behavior is showing up in 300 other area of life too.
Yeah, if that person is giving you like that chance to grow and like saying to evolve. I say, okay, maybe this is not this person. Okay, I'm gonna tell this person I don't like this. And then if the person keeps doing it, okay, this person is trying to tell me that I'm not trying to change anything. I'm not trying to adjust for you. If you're not trying to take this. And the person will be like, you know what? Do this. Chicken.
Exactly. Yep. D Sokwe, I do the freezer thing. Thank God for talking stage, right? This is why one of the reasons why I just said what I just said, right? Talking stage, if he does not like freezer food, we might have to reconsider things. See how she said reconsider? That's perfect, right? Some people say that's a deal breaker about anything. Like, no, deal breaker. Calm down on that deal breaker stuff. Deal breaker do exist, but I'm just saying, where we are right now in this space, a lot of people are struggling to secure a life partner because literally everything is deal breaker for them. They're not taking enough time to even get to know a person. Say, you know what? Yeah, that thing is annoying. You know, she smacks at it.
Let me tell you one honest thing that people miss. When you sit down and criticize like the other person and say, oh, that is a deal breaker for me. Like, have you ever sit down to think about some stuff that you yourself do that the other person has been taking it, that on a normal day the person can say, I'm not going to take this. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
But we don't wait. We always think about ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this, that. Okay, let's talk about like the other stuff that you.
We're usually pointing fingers. That's our innate thing to do. So now you have to be intentional and say, hey, I'm gonna slow down and not point finger. What is it about me, or what is it that I like the most about this person? What is it about me that other people may not like that much? Are you self-aware at that level? You know.
No, some people don't want to be self-aware. They really don't want to be.
Yeah,
like
because we have to continue to repeat those phrases.
They come up with that line. They
Self-awareness.
come with that. They come with that. No, they come up with that line like, "I love who I am. This is who I am." Self-love.
Sure.
I'm a brown style.
Yeah, sure. You go collect woto by yourself too. Yeah, sure. Like, keep liking yourself. You know, the thing is that liking yourself is good. I like it too. I think you should love yourself, right? But part of yourself is that you're a social being. You want to connect with other people. It's part of your social needs. It's part of your emotional needs as a human being, right? So because you want to connect with other people in a romantic way, you have to pay attention to the other side of that equation, you know. Let's see. Let's keep going. But I like the word reconsider. I like that word.
It's not even a relationship. So yeah, of course I think stuff like this is perfectly valid. I think splitting up duties in the household is like one of the most important parts of like a relationship, because it's where you're spending most of the time together. This is why I say, people get triggered when I say it, I don't think you're even dating until you live together, because until you live together you don't really know who the other person's like, and once you start living together and you see what the household duties are like, then you get a feel for what the relationship is.
I mean, I just think that, like, I don't know, I feel like that stuff can be worked out. Chores, like,
hold on, wait.
That's the point, bro. She said something that makes sense finally, but she's okay. All right, let's.
Do you understand? Wait, hold on, wait. You're not saying anything. Do you do this intentionally? Where you're like, I don't.
She didn't say anything.
We're telling you. I'm telling you that.
I mean, that's. You're giving your opinion. I'm giving.
I'm not giving an opinion. In a household, there's not an opinion. I'm putting it forward as fact.
It's not an opinion. Some things, hey, gentlemen and women, lame of the internet land of 2023. Everything is not an opinion. Some things we just know because we have the experience. We tell you, see, you're wrong. It's not an opinion. You don't get to have your opinion. You're just wrong. Like syrup, just wrong. Okay. Some things are not, oh no, I'm just no. Some things, I'm telling you right now that some things are just not opinion. You're just flat out wrong. Let's keep going.
In a house, delineation of chores is one of the most important things. That if somebody's constantly destroying the bathroom, leaving clothes everywhere, leaving dirty food in the sink, they can't clean their dishes or whatever, like these things will destroy anything over time.
It will destroy anything, not just marriage. Anything. Somebody's like, oh, wow, but why are you listening to this blue ear guy? Why are you listening to? Are you feminine too? You see, that's your problem. That's your problem. And these your talking points will become reality for you. You're stuck on, he's a bisexual man. What does that have to do with what he just said that makes sense?
Yeah, but that's what she said. She said, I'm sure we can work it out. That's
but obviously because they're not, though.
He can't work it out. That's why he ended up in divorce. Dummies.
They're not working it out.
Bro, then maybe.
Let's leave that alone. What? 3 minutes. We'll continue it. I think we might keep reacting to it, Pearl. Let me see here. Natu, are you there? Did you come back yet? I know you said you'll be right back. Because I want to get the last word from you. Let me play a little. Let me know when you come back. And then we can round off.
Maybe these women that are making all this money, that, you know, they're making so much money working and they don't want to do the house chores. Maybe they should go and get an older guy with more money so they can go and employ a maid.
What?
And a cook.
What?
Yeah.
You guys just
Maybe
be
they should
saying
do
anything,
that.
man.
How's that anything?
Okay, but then
you got to put no.
Go and employ a maid. Can an average person employ a maid? Yes, even in Nigeria, because many of you want to say, oh yeah, but you could get a model in Nigeria. Like, even in Nigeria, is the average person living in Lekki and Magodo? Why are we doing this to ourselves, right? The average person in Nigeria, we're talking about average of 200 million people, not average of the 10,000 people living in Lekki. I don't know the population in Lekki, right? It's unrealistic. Go hire a maid.
What? Listen to what you just said. You said they're leaving unemployed maid and do the house chores. Maybe they should go and get an older guy with more money so they can go and employ a maid.
What?
And a cook.
What?
Yeah.
You guys
She
just be
said
saying
what?
anything,
Also,
man.
Okay, but
no,
then
you got to put no. What? Listen to what you just said. You said they're leaving the guys that make less money because they're expected to make money and do the house. And you were saying how hard it is because you're at home and you're doing all these chores. Okay, then.
They never say anything about how hard the chores were. They're talking about how hard it is to deal with somebody that's constantly creating a mess, or not being able to help to keep the house in some kind of place. They can't afford it financially, but they also expect a working woman to do that, right? A lot of men are oblivious to the fact that they do this. It's not necessarily intentional. I keep telling you, no one is actively trying to. Well, there are, but for the most part, people are not trying to intentionally hurt the other person. They're just oblivious, complacent. They're not paying attention. They lack self-awareness, right? They lack emotional intelligence, right? You need to address it from that standpoint so you can fix it. If you think they are actively trying to hurt you, it's only natural that you try to hurt them back. You won't solve the problem either, right? Even though you're right. Yeah. So yeah, let's not to your back. Let me get some last word for you. I want to round up right now. We'll continue this just probably things. I think it's a gift that keeps giving.
I know.
Yep. What's your last word about this? Have you ever paid attention to her at all?
I think after you now I'm gonna check it out, but I don't like. I'm not a big fan of
Listen, if you follow me, go check her out because we'll be discombobulating all our talking points because she's speaking from a place.
Just like you said earlier, and like that lady advised earlier, like marriage is not one size fits all. And what is your definition of marriage? What are you going into for? And like you said, all realistic expectations. Like people have to set up a realistic expectation. You know what I'm saying? So and you have to like. I think our culture and peer pressure comes in for people. There's a post I'm going to share with you of a guy that I saw that said marriage is not for everybody, and I South African parents left the group chat.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe that. So it's going to be up to you, honestly speaking. But you have to know who you're getting married to. Like for this year, I just decided to lay back in my marriage and do like a self-reflection for myself. Like you said, self-educating myself, like self-awareness, emotional intelligence, like all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not married yet and you're listening to this, like that's one thing you really want to work on, emotional intelligence. That thing, like it's not more.
No,
if
it's
you
not.
Have
we
that,
have to
like,
remain student of it for life.
Yes. So if you have that to some extent when you're coming into it, it's gonna help you a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't think Auntie Pearl has like that much of emotional intelligence with all the things that she's saying. So honestly speaking, that's gonna be my take.
Yeah.
What's the definition of marriage? What's the definition of a wife? What do you want from a wife? You have to remember you're not marrying your mom, you're not marrying your father.
Right.
You're marrying somebody from a different background from you. What was their upbringing? What did they learn? What did they have to unlearn? What grace do you need to give them? What grace do you need to give yourself? You know, and stuff like that.
Now it's very important because at least if you're off, we can correct you. If you tell me your own what it means to you, I can then turn around and say, okay, you're off. That's not realistic.
Right.
You go collect with that. If you think that's what marriage is, right? I'll be like, okay, let's adjust here and there. You know, let's think about it this way. What about this? We can have a conversation as opposed to you making up your mind off of a completely unrealistic, archaic value system that simply doesn't exist today.
Right, and I just hate when people shut people down because, like, if you don't agree with somebody, it's fine. It's very okay to disagree on some certain things.
Yeah.
You shutting people down because of making people's like feelings or emotions invalid because like you're gonna leave marriage because of somebody doesn't know how to organize. That's a big deal for him.
That is a big deal.
If that's a deal breaker for him, that's fine. You cannot like shut whatever his idea or emotions are just because you don't feel that's what's the idea of marriage. Your idea of marriage is. So.
Yeah, just like Adebusola said. Shout out to Adebusola. She said, "Sure, is slow mode." Yes, bro, it's a big deal. She said, "Even maids grumble and complain if you're too messy." Yes, that's a fact. Even the people you are paying, it was like this people are weird. These people that I'm living with, they'll be chatting with their friends. They'll be chatting with their friends. I said, the people that are
giving me work.
Because they are friends with other maids and they know that certain people are just a-holes about how they make messy things for them. So yeah, that's a nice one, Jarenato. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
During the week, I want to keep it. Oh, which one?
Today.
Oh yeah, during the week I'll come up randomly whenever I get a few that I can, and I feel like the topic is hot enough. I'll come on and I'll do, but I'll try to limit it to 2 hours, so that we can get back to work, But yes, we do. Thank you so much,
No problem.
All right. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, let me do a quick shout out before I leave to D again for the $7 super chat. Before I leave, I'm gonna play the dance for you a little bit again, and then we'll call it a day. All right, that's it for today. Oh, thank you so much. D, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's here. Big Bay, everybody. Shout out to everybody. D'Souza, Natu that came on. Everybody, Adebusola. Shout out to you. Sunshine, I see you all. Shout out to all 16 people watching me live right now. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We can't finish this just proud things conversation one day. We just have to keep talking, okay? I'm not interested in determining or detecting if she's a racist or not. I could care less. I want to discombobulate all 6,000 multiplied by 6,000 stupid talking point that she's grown viral off of. We need to destroy every single one of them, and that's what we're going to be doing from time to time. All right, and then everybody else in that space too. I will be reacting to a lot of the stuff, and we'll be having conversation, okay? And then rubbing minds together. You should marriage is not a fix all or end up be or fix all, the one size fits all for everyone. That's absolutely very true. There's nothing in life that's worthwhile that's one size fits all. You need to create custom plan, strategize, and and things like have a conversation with people that have had experience, people that study this stuff on a regular basis, particularly from a place of application, in order for you to make any kind of real life sense out of these things. If you don't, you go collect big time. All right, so thank you so much to everybody that came on. I will hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.